All right, what's up, guys? Today, we're going to be grasping at straws, talking about 5 reasons why Stipe Miocic could actually shock the world against Jon Jones. Tubby man, heavyweight, 37-year-old, injured Jon Jones, ducking his interim champ, Tom Aspinall. So we might as well talk about how Stipe could do the funniest thing ever and crash the party and just destroy every plan Jon Jones has to retire, quote-unquote, undefeated and never lose. Let's look at some reasons why Stipe could actually do that. For one, let's talk about heavyweight division. We all know the last thing to go in a fighter is their power. Stipe, it might be 42 years old, but there's no doubt in my mind he still has knockout power. Let's not forget, this guy's knocked out JDS. He's knocked out Fabricio Verdum. He's knocked out Alistair Overeem. Knocked out Andrei Arlovski. Like, Stipe has some insane knockouts, and I think it'd be silly to assume that just because he's 42 years old, he no longer has any pop. So yeah, I think Stipe is going to be dangerous just for the fact that he's a heavyweight that actually has knockout power, where when Jon Jones was facing Gon, not too much of a knockout threat there. Gon's an amazing striker, but he doesn't have grappling, and he wasn't threatening enough on the feet to one-punch KO Jon Jones. I'm not saying Stipe Miocic is a one-punch KO artist, but he has one-punch KO'd people before. For instance, Fabricio Verdum, going backwards. He tagged Fabricio Verdum with the right hand, going backwards, and KO'd him out cold. One of the best jiu-jitsu artists in MMA heavyweight history, in front of his own crowd in Brazil, in front of 20,000 people, and became the champion. Listen, I know he was 35 then, and he's 42 now, and it's a completely different fight, but let's not pretend like that's not a possibility. Now, just to preface, I am picking Jon Jones, and I do think he's going to beat Stipe Miocic, but we have to be realistic here and talk about what can Stipe do to beat Jon Jones. Also, I think that Stipe is a better boxer than Jon Jones. Listen, Jon Jones, a hole in his striking has always been his boxing. He doesn't have very good boxing. He was outboxed pretty badly in the Dominic Reyes fight. Never really been a good boxer. He's been able to hide behind his range a lot of his career because he has a 8 to 12-inch reach advantage over most of his opponents. So he's able to hide behind that range and just kind of pick at you at a distance with oblique kicks and just keeping you on the end of his punches and his kicks and his elbows. And yeah, it's hard to get on the inside on Jon Jones, but if you do, he doesn't have great boxing. So I think Stipe can exploit that because Stipe is a Golden Gloves boxing champion. I know that's not the highest level of boxing, but when we're talking about the heavyweight division and we're talking about Jon Jones, you know, Stipe could use every advantage he can get. So I think he is going to be the better boxer out there. Jiu-jitsu. Now, we know that Jon Jones went up and he submitted Cyril Gane relatively easily. Let me just say, I do not think Jon Jones is going to submit Stipe. Stipe has some of the best heavyweight submission defense we've ever seen. Reminiscent of his Alistair Overeem fight. He defended that guillotine beautifully. He also fought Fabricio Verdum, and I know it was a fight on the feet, but never was in danger of getting submitted. Listen, I don't think Jon Jones is submitting Stipe. He has some of the best heavyweight jiu-jitsu defense we've ever seen. I don't think he's ever been submitted in the UFC, so even at 42, I don't think Jon Jones submits him. Just because Jon Jones came up and submitted Tubby man Cyril Gane, who can't defend a takedown from a fly, I don't think Jon Jones is going to be able to submit Stipe. Call me crazy, that might be a hot take. That's just my opinion. Let's talk about another thing. Jon Jones is 37 years old also. He's not a young gun anymore, and I'd argue he has more miles on the tank than Stipe. He started his career younger than Stipe did. So Jon Jones is 37, coming off the worst injury of his career. He tore his pectoral muscle pretty badly. He hasn't fought. I know people are talking about Stipe hasn't fought in nearly 4 years. Jon Jones hasn't fought in nearly 2 years. It's been like a year and like 10 months or something like that. So let's not pretend like Stipe is the only one that's been inactive. Jon Jones has one fight in the last 4.5 years. Stipe has one fight in like the last 4.5 years as well. They're on similar trajectories right now. So I think that in terms of activity, I know Jones fought more recently, but I think they're both kind of in the same realm. Another thing we're going to talk about is Stipe. This is his last fight. He's openly expressed that he's going to retire. So he has nothing to lose, man. He's going to come out there guns blazing, and he's going to go for Jones. And whenever Jones gets pushed back or fights a guy his size, Stipe's also 6'4". I know he doesn't have the reach of Jon, but Jones has struggled with opponents that are his size. Stipe, I believe, is also 6'4", so they're both going to be 6'4". Jones is going to have a reach advantage. But listen, man, Jon Jones is slow at heavyweight, so I don't think he's necessarily going to have a speed advantage. I think Stipe can defend the takedowns, but I do think that Jon Jones is going to win this fight just by staying on the outside behind his reach and just kind of picking and prodding at Stipe, maybe attempting a takedown here and there just to keep Stipe off balance. But do I think Jon Jones can get Stipe down? Absolutely. Do I think he's going to submit him? I do not. A lot of people are going into this fight with the narrative that, yeah, man, Stipe is 42, Jon Jones is going to submit him and it's going to be over in 30 seconds like it was against Cyril Gane. I don't see that happening. I do see Jon Jones winning, but let's not pretend like Stipe, like I said, he has amazing jiu-jitsu defense specifically. Not offense, defense. Stipe's always been good. There's been comments made by his coaches that he has some of the best jiu-jitsu defense at heavyweight they've ever seen. So there's been stories and comments about Stipe's jiu-jitsu defense and how he's very hard to submit. So I don't think Jones is going to go in there and take him down and immediately submit him. Here's what I think. I think this fight's going to go this way. Jones is going to beat Stipe by a close decision, and it isn't going to look the best because he's going to duck Tom Aspinall and retire, and it's going to be one of the biggest what-ifs. What if Tom Aspinall would have knocked Jon Jones out in the first round? Because I think he would, to be honest. Call me a hater. I'm not a fan of Jon Jones, so I guess I would be a hater. But listen, man, I don't think Jon Jones is knocking out Stipe. Who's the last person Jon Jones knocked out? Daniel Cormier with the head kick in 2017 when he was on roids? Jon Jones has no punching power in his hands. He's not KOing Stipe whatsoever. He hasn't KO'd anybody in ages. Even Gustafsson, it was a TKO on the ground. I think he's going to struggle to take down Stipe because Stipe has good wrestling defense. And yeah, I think it'll be a closer fight than a lot of people think. I think a lot of people are underestimating Stipe Miocic just because he's 42, including myself. I've been one of Stipe's biggest critics. Listen, it's no secret that Stipe doesn't deserve the title shot, but this is the fight that's going down, and this is what we have to talk about. And with this fight happening next month, it is what it is. It's not going to be Tom Aspinall. It's going to be old man Stipe. And I myself have underestimated him, and so is most of the MMA community. I think this fight is a joke because it is, but I think this fight is a lot more competitive than people are saying. I don't think Jon Jones is going to go in there and steamroll Stipe in a minute and ride off into the sunset. I don't see that happening at all. Like I said, Stipe, knockout power, 42 years old. He's still going to be powerful and dangerous. He's a better boxer, good jiu-jitsu defense. And Jones is coming off an injury. Listen, I know Stipe hasn't fucking fought since Alex Pereira made his debut, but Stipe is not going to be injured, man. Maybe he is because he's 42. Who knows? But shit, I think Stipe can hang in there. I think he can hold his own. And listen, Dana White's claiming that if Stipe or Jon Jones wins, he's got a hunch that they're going to stay in and fight Tom Aspinall because that's just how they're built. I don't see that happening. I think win or lose, Jon Jones or Stipe Miocic are both going to retire. Jones, he's ducking the most high-profile ducking of all time, him versus Tom Aspinall. And Stipe, fair enough, 42 years old. He's the heavyweight GOAT. Even if Jon Jones beats him, I still think Stipe's a UFC heavyweight GOAT. Most title defenses, had a really good run. I wouldn't mind him retiring, but I think Jon Jones is a coward for retiring. And yeah, that's my take. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. I'm definitely grasping at straws here. He's saying that Stipe can shock the world. But hey, man, he can. At the end of the day, it's heavyweight, and it only takes one. So don't act like I'm crazy, because I'm not. Like the video if you enjoyed. Let me know if I'm a casual in the comments. Always appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video, and I'm out, boys. Peace.